All right, family. We live again with the general. You already know what time it is. We keep nothing but the fire out there for the family. We touch on all subjects, you know what I'm saying, that's relevant to the mass media, especially our own people. But we're gonna be talking about this ridiculous, scandalous operative that we know of today as Chud the Builder, saying that they got an anonymous man that's intending to drop the bail money to get this crazy Neanderthal out on bail. You see, they're gonna pay the bill. This is what they saying, and which is not shocking to me at all. You see what I'm saying? This is not shocking at all. This is America at its finest. You feel what I'm saying? This is America at its finest. And what did you expect? You know, I didn't expect that they was gonna lead a man in there. A white supremacist like that. They're gonna go out here and perform them. And go and antagonize people, and and call them all type of racial epithets. I'm surprised that didn't nobody leak his ass. You know what I'm saying? Which would have been appropriate, bust his head open, because I mean, you are actually assaulting people. And I don't understand how people can, think they could get away with that. See, the thing is, black people has been spending so much time trying to sit in the Neanderthal lap. You don't want no true freedom or liberation, and so you let them say shit and do shit that they would have got their head split open long. In earlier generations, this shit would not have happened. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just tell y'all the real, and not to, I want my family to know their lineage, what they come from. That we don't allow, nobody to be walking around, calling, niggas and shit. That, maybe back when back a little bit into the and even in, years before the 80s and 70s. But I know for sure that during that time it was, even before that, Detroit and shit burned that damn city down in 67. Matter of fact, it was a race riot, and people don't talk about that. It was two major race riots in Detroit. One was back in the light. It was back, I think it was in the it's either in the 20s or the 30s. It was matter of fact, when was that? I think it was either I don't want to say. Detroit had two major race riots. When were they? 43. I thought it was in the 40s. Yeah, there it was one in 1943. That was very, yeah. 34 people died in that race riot too in 43. So it was really a major race riot. So I mean, people don't take nobody walking around and just, yeah, they would say some shit, but they had to be by, had major numbers, and but as far as walking up to black people, them days was over with, and saying shit like that. Oh hell no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't and I know, I don't know what's going on in Nashville. I'm not really up on what's going on in Nashville. I couldn't see him going to Memphis and doing that shit. I couldn't see him going to Memphis. He was in Nashville. Be a motherfucking man. Take your ass to Memphis and do some shit like that. Go downtown Memphis and show me you could antagonize. Man, they would have split his motherfucking head off. I already know. Ain't no way you gonna make me believe. So you pick and choose. So to the family out there. I don't know if they outnumbered, but I don't care because, at this day and age, most black people across the motherfucking board that didn't reach a certain level, I believe, but I could be wrong. Some of y'all still in that cowering stage and shit. You still in that cowering stage where somebody could just walk up, man. Ain't no walking up. You understand what I'm saying? On that bush. See, that's why he keep that thing on him, and that's why you gotta put a thing on you. Straight up. That's you gonna have to equalize that situation. You gonna have to equalize that situation. A motherfucker think he can say whatever because he got that thing. You gonna have to have that thing on you. But see, that's where unity come into play. Because if they know they coming into a community that's tight knit and everybody unified, they already know what's gonna happen. Because if one nigga, they gonna come out like army ants on your ass. You see what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no win with or without, because it's gonna be numbers of motherfuckers already got the thing. So that's gonna be a losing damn battle anyway. So that's what it's about, to have strong community. You see, that in itself is exuberate, power and security. You know what I'm saying? That's what it do. And so you having unity and having power in numbers, but people do their homework before they go and do anything. They gon' yeah, this is a soft area. And I'm not saying all of Nashville is soft. They pick and choose where they gonna go. They ain't just gonna up and pop up where they gonna know it's a lot of brothers and shit that's really about that life, and at the drop of a dime will knock you out. You'll go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? They'll put you on the Serta real quick, motherfucker. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Yeah, nigga, you'll be in La La Land somewhere. You'll be in goddamn La La Land somewhere. And so I wouldn't be surprised of somebody paying. That's what you expect. Every damn anything that has happened that's been racially charged, they always come and pay the bill. If it's GoFundMe, they'll put 2 times the it's police. They got GoFundMe. They've been to kill somebody. They be having $2 million in they damn GoFundMe. You see what I'm saying? Even the woman, remember that she called the little baby a nigga or some or whatever and shit, and they put money all in her damn GoFundMe. You see what I'm saying? Black power to the family out here. Yeah, black power family. Yeah, we out here doing what we supposed to be doing, but that's what it is. And as y'all can see, as I tell the family out there, and I've always told y'all, and because a lot of these niggas are suckers, they wear house shoes. That's what they do. They wear house shoes and flip flops and moccasins and shit. They don't want to be no soldier. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, goddamn it, be strong enough to join in with strength and power. You can't be out here physically not prepared today. This is the day for nothing but soldiers, and whatever else you doing, you still you be a scholar. I'm a scholar, nigga, but I can flip right over. I'm a scholar, a soldier, all that wrapped up into one. You see what I'm saying? You can't just be no soft nigga doing soft work. You got to be able to put everything down and join the squad if need be. You see what I'm saying? But it's nothing, we knew that, somebody going, just for the sake to support white supremacy, to get him out is nothing. I knew they was going to do that, and everybody else knew that was going to happen. So, I mean, nobody is surprised that somebody would pay the money to get him out of there. You feel me? Nobody is surprised. But even then, he better take his ass somewhere and sit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be gunning for his ass. You know, even if he get out, he better find his ass somewhere and sit the fuck down. Cause you ain't gonna keep rolling them damn dice like that until you find a motherfucker just ain't about that life. You see what I'm saying? You gonna roll the dice and you gonna find a nigga that just ain't about that life. You gonna think he a chimp, and you gonna find out that motherfucker's a silverback gorilla. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? You gonna mistake a motherfucker a silverback gorilla for a chimp, and that's where you gonna meet your demise and shit. You gonna meet your damn demise, you foolish Neanderthal. And I said it. But stay strong out there, family. Make sure you get your physical program together, train at and that's what you need to do. And if brothers have to link up and get busy, then you got a squad. You know, you got a squad that's prepared to do the damn thing out there. And that's real talk. Don't hesitate to get on your blueprint and your program today. Now that the street is blocked. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. You have to food, clothing, and shelter. And defense of food, clothing, and shelter. Not just food, clothing, and shelter, food, clothing, and shelter, and defense of food, clothing, and shelter. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, like it because you love it. I want you to share with your family and friends. Make sure you leave a comment, let the world know how you feel, and click that link at the top of the chat, family. Get over to Patreon because we most definitely gonna put in some serious work this evening. All right, family, Black Power.